Good morning, Year 2. It's Mrs. Newis here for your next shared reading session. Right, before we start looking at our next couple of pages of the book, I would like you to have a think about what has happened on the last few pages. So, something quite important has happened in our story, and I'm wondering if you can remember what it is. Pause the video now and have a think for me. Okay, welcome back. So hopefully you have remembered that we saw Father and his friend in the mine and the mine was collapsing. They were both trying to escape. There was rocks falling from the ceiling and Father and his friend were covering their faces as they were trying to get out and escape from the mine tunnel. Okay, we didn't know for a couple of pages if Father and his friend had got out okay or not. But then we looked at some doors. There were 4 doors, and the last door showed us something really, really important. So, where were these doors? Why were there 4 of them? And what did the last door show us? Pause the video now and have a think. Hello again. Well, hopefully you have remembered that there were 4 doors because they were there to show different times of the day. So actually, it was only one door. It was the same door, wasn't it? But one picture showed the door in the morning, then another showed the door in the late morning, maybe about lunchtime, one in the early afternoon, and then the last door showed us something really important. The last door showed us a figure outside coming in, and that figure was Father. So it was that last door that showed us that Father did escape the mine and he got out okay and he was totally safe. Okay, let's have a look at our next couple of pages. Okay, so this page shows us at the top, Father coming in the door, is taking off his shoes, and there's a little boy and he's running towards him, isn't he? And just underneath that, we can see the little boy giving his father a really big hug. Now the words say, at supper time, it goes like this. My father comes home from work. He has black smudges on his face from working the coal mine. He looks tired, but he gives me a big smile and a hug. His long work day is over and he is home safe and sound. Okay, our next page shows a table and it looks like it's got Mum and Dad stood near the window. We can't see all of them. We can just see their backs just here. We can see the little boys, I think it is his little sister actually, just underneath that table. And the little boy is setting the tables. He's doing a very good job, isn't he, for his mum and dad. Now he's setting 3 places. So I wonder who those 3 places are for. I think it might be Mum, Dad and the little boy. I'm not sure where the little sister's going to sit though. I can't see a high chair anywhere. Now the writing says, he showers and puts on clean clothes and comes down to eat. My mother has been cooking and the kitchen smells like chicken stew and potatoes. I listen to the ball game on the radio while I set the table. Okay, so let's look a little bit closer at these pictures and let's look at the words again and see if we can get a bit more information about our characters and what's happening here. So, how does the boy feel here? He's seeing his dad, he's running towards him. I think he looks really happy and really excited to see his dad. He looks like he's got a smile on his face. He's running towards him, isn't he? As soon as his dad's come through the door, and he gives him a really big hug as well, which shows you that he's really happy to see his dad. Now, it also says He has black smudges on his face from working the coal. And we know as well he has to go upstairs and have a shower and get changed and get nice and clean, ready for dinner. So it must be that Dad's work is very dirty as well. And we've thought that before, haven't we, when we've looked at that coal mine? It's looked very dusty and very dirty and very hot. So you might need a nice bath or a good shower once you've got out of that mine and you've got home. It looks like quite a relaxing evening here. I think the little boy and his family are just really relieved to have his dad home. Why would I think that they would be relieved? So by relieved, I mean the little boy is almost thinking, oh, phew, Dad's home. He's really glad he's home. What words does the author use on the first page which makes you think that he's relieved and he's glad for his dad to be home? Listen again. My father comes home from work. He has black smudges on his face from working the coal. He looks tired, but he gives me a big smile and a hug. His long work day is over and he is home, safe and sound. Pause the video now and have a think about how we know that the little boy is relieved and really glad that his dad is home from the mine. Okay, hopefully you will have noticed the words safe and sound. Now, I don't think our little boy knows yet that the mine has collapsed, or at least part of the mine collapsed where father was. But I think the little boy does know that probably working underground, deep down under that sea, is quite dangerous, isn't it? So he's really relieved, and we know because it says that his dad is home, safe and sound. Okay, let's have a look at our next few pictures. Okay, now here we have the family sitting down having their, it must be their chicken stew and potatoes. It sounds lovely. Now there's the little sister. She sat with her mum, so she didn't need a high chair after all. Oh, and there's two steaming hot, what looks like tea there to me. Oh, I could just do with one of those myself. And it says, after dinner, my mother and father sit on the balcony drinking cups of tea and talking. The sun sets slowly, sinking into the sea. Year 2, just look at those 2 pages. It looks absolutely beautiful. Now, I think this might be a similar view to what the mum and dad can see and the boy from their balcony. It looks absolutely beautiful, doesn't it? Very calm and very relaxing. It is a very huge contrast, isn't it? So that means it's very, very different to what we know has gone on underneath that sea. We know that part of that mine has come down and collapsed, hasn't it? And Dad's had to run away and escape. But above the sea, it looks really calm, really tranquil, very, very picturesque, if you can remember that word, Year 2. Okay, here is one of my favourite pictures of the whole book. Here we have the whole family. So we've got mother or mum, father or dad, we've got the little boy, and we've got his sister. They're sat on their balcony. If you look here just closely, you can see one of those cups of tea. They're looking out over the sea, and it looks so calm and nice and relaxing, and it's sunset, isn't it? We know that because the author has told us that the sun is sinking into the sea. So that means it's getting towards dusk, isn't it? And the sun is starting to set. It'll go dark very, very soon. Just here we can see the lights of the town. We know the house is quite high up because we know it's on a grassy cliff. And just here in the distance, in that cove, that area of land that swoops round, we can see the coal mine. And it says, deep down under the sea is where my father digs for coal. What a beautiful picture. That is so calming and lovely. Makes me wish I was sat on that bench on that balcony looking out over the sea. Okay, so what I've done this time, year 2, is tried to put the pictures that you will need on your questions, and it's to help so that you don't have to I don't have to upload lots and lots of pictures. You can always go back as well on the video and pause if you need to look at certain parts to help you answer the questions. So we've got the picture here where the boy is running towards his father and giving him a really big hug. We've got the picture where the boy is setting the table, and we've got the picture of the 2 cups of tea. Now, our questions say, how does the writer tell us that the boy's father is dirty from his work down the mine? So how does the writer tell us that the boy's father is dirty from his work down the mine? So have a look at this first page here. How does the author describe father? Okay, this is a retrieval question. Little bit of inference as well. It doesn't say we know father is dirty because, okay, it doesn't tell us that in the book. It doesn't say father is dirty and then tells us how we know that. So you do need to use a little bit of your inference skills here as well, but it is mainly a retrieval question. So have a look carefully here at the words, okay, find the answer. If you're working on the screen, remember what we do at school, and that would be underline your answer and then write it down so you don't lose it. Okay, the next question says, how does the boy feel when his father returns home from work? How does the boy feel when his father returns home from work? We've talked about this year too. Excuse me. We've looked carefully at the pictures and we've looked at the words, so you can come to your own conclusion and have your own ideas about how you think the boy might feel. Now, I'd really like most of you to try and write this in a full sentence. So I think the boy might feel. Tell me how you think he might feel. And then you need to use for me, year 2, that word because. Big elephants can always understand small elephants because you will need to tell me why. The next part of the question says, how do you know? So why do you think he feels that way? What does the book show us? What do the words say? What do the pictures show us? Okay, so that really is using your inference skills. It's being a reading detective and looking at those clues on the page. Number 3, how many places does the boy set at the table? How many places does the boy set at the table? Now, look carefully at this middle picture. That's a really easy retrieval question for you there, year 2. You should all be able to get that one. Then number 4, what do mother and father do after dinner? What do mother and father do after dinner? Now, here is the clue. This picture here. Okay, now if you can't read the writing, I know it can be difficult for you to make these pictures much bigger. Rewind the video and have a look at the really big pictures of the page. Okay, and try and remember what we said mother and father did after dinner. Now, please do try and go back. It isn't a memory test, okay? I hope that you're all trying to use the text and use the pages that I've put up on the video to help you answer the questions. Okay? Please try and use full sentences. I do understand that some of the questions might be one-word answers. That's absolutely fine. But where you can, please try and answer in full sentences. And I look forward to receiving all of your responses on the dojo shortly. Bye for now, year 2.